station of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
Arcia to right, a base hit, and Orlando Arcia on the board with his first major league hit.
It's a moment that every young little leaguer dreams of, that first major league hit. Some come with much fanfare and anticipation, but all are full of so much meaning and emotion. Tonight, another Brewers youngster is poised to take that next step to march into the batter's box and begin a journey of a Major League Baseball player.
To reach that ultimate goal, all the hard work that I put in since I was, in middle school playing baseball, it all pays off once you get that call.
A very active week for the Milwaukee Brewers as the series continues from Chase Field here in Phoenix. The roof opening up once again as the Brewers and Diamondbacks play the middle game of this series. Good start for the Brew Crew, winning last night. A lot going on. The Brewers were winners 8-6. Good evening from Phoenix alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Matt LePay. Jerry Augustine is our reporter. Well, obviously the news of the day involving Lewis Brinson, as he is the latest now Rock to be called up. That's the exciting news. The unfortunate news is why he had to be called up. Jonathan Villar with a terrific defensive play last night. Unfortunately, he got hurt in the process.
Yeah, just when he was starting to put his game together in the 8th inning, maybe a game-saving play, hurts his back as he hits the ground. He had a difficult time getting off the field. He had to be helped. They brought his stretcher on and had to wheel him off, and he is in a lot of pain right now. He's at the ballpark on the 10-day disabled list. So to replace VR on the roster, the Brewers are going to see yet another young player from the minor leagues. First it was Phillips, then it was Josh Hader, and now it's going to be Lewis Brinson. And certainly a lot of fanfare, a lot of excitement to see him come up and make his major league debut.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that as this game moves along, as the Brewers, as you see the move there with VR on the 10-day DL with the lower back strain, and Lewis Brinson, the top overall prospect in this Brewers franchise. Number 2 came up yesterday in Josh Hader. Number 1 comes up today in Lewis Brinson. Have ourselves a good pitching matchup tonight as Zach Godley will square off against Junior Guerra. We'll get more on the matchup with Jerry Augustine as we get you set for Game 2. Brewers and D-backs from Chase Field coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lights, the original light beer. By UP and Abraham, voted best, rated best. UP and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Yeah, Brewers having fun with the mascot Baxter. Last night it was Eric Thames. Tonight Matt Garza with an assist from Jesus Aguilar. Making life tough on Baxter. We have ourselves a good matchup again, a rematch. These two, Junior Guerra and Zach Godley, squared off against one another on May 26th. As Guerra trying to get back on track. Actually, he's been very good. You see the record. His last outing, though, he had to grind it a little bit. 5 innings, 7 hits against the San Francisco Giants. And let's get more on Junior and what he needs to get back going tonight as we check in with Jerry Augustine. Augie, what does Junior need to do here tonight?
Well, it's all about command. You know, he's got the good fastball. He commands inside and out, the breakable and the cutter, and he needs that very much. But the pitch that he can expand the strike zone is that split finger fastball. When he can command that pitch early in the ball game, have good command, it really sets a tone. Matt, that is the pitch early in the ball game that we will be looking for, especially successful.
All right, Augie, thank you very much. We get set for Game 2, Brewers and Diamondbacks. The crew continuing to travel well, looking for more of the same tonight. First pitch coming up on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let the games begin. Crowd tonight at Chase Field. Roof is open because it is, relatively speaking, a comfortable 99 degrees. Saw a cloud or two earlier today. No clouds now, though, as we get ready for the second game of this series. Craig Counsell's team, as we speak, with a 2.5 game lead in the National League Central. The Cubs losing again today. They're going to make it 3 full games if things go right tonight. Here's the Brewers batting order presented by Potawatomi. Eric Sogard again at the top, followed by Domingo Santana and Eric Thames. Jesus Aguilar hits cleanup, followed by Hernan Perez and Manny Pena. Brett Phillips, Orlando Arcia, and Junior Guerra round out the batting order against the right-hander, the 27-year-old Zach Godley.
Yeah, Zach Godley's been very good, making his second start this year against Milwaukee. Actually, a rematch of a game in Milwaukee. Guerra versus Godley. He's been throwing the baseball well. 1-1 record at .239 earned run average.
We are underway as he works against Eric Sogard for ball 1. Godley Made his big league debut against the Brewers a couple of years ago and was very effective on that occasion. A very impressive debut in 2015. 6 innings of 4-hit shutout ball. He struck out 7 along the way. The Brewers trying to solve the mystery. They haven't faced Godley a lot. The 4th appearance, 3rd start, but he has been a handful for Milwaukee hitters. 3-0 on the night's leadoff hitter, Eric Sogard. Back at the top of the order. Eric had a rare 0 for last night. He has been hitting early and often in his time as a Brewer, but last night 0 for 6. What was a crazy game, had a lot going on. Both bullpens again very busy, and the Brewers able to outscore the Diamondbacks 8-6.
Yeah, battle of attrition in those bullpens last night, and Brewers able to come up with a 2-run win.
Sogard hits one on the button, but it's right in the direction of David Peralta for the first out of the game.
Well, let's check out the Menards Arizona Diamondbacks defense. David Descalso gets another start out in left field. He kicked it around a little bit last night. He got Fuentes, Peralta rounds out the outfield. He got Lamb at 3rd, Goldschmidt at 1st. Big home run hitters, for the Diamondbacks. Owings Drury up the middle and Chris Iannetta behind home plate.
Brian Gorman is your crew chief. He is making the calls over at 2nd tonight. Trip Gibson calling balls and strikes. Dan Iasonia at 1st. Nick Lentz, the 3rd base umpire, as Domingo Santana steps in. Again, hitting in the 2-hole for Craig Counsell. Santana started a 3-run first inning. The Brewers have been electric in the first inning this season, and they added to it last night, scoring 3 times. Santana got it started with a double, and that extended his hitting streak to 9 games. That's a career best for the Brewers right fielder. Oh, 0-1 the count to Santana. We are just getting started, and that's hit well into center field. Ray Fuentes out there, and he'll make the catch. 2 up, 2 down in the first.
Yeah, that one had a knuckle out there. Ray Fuentes kind of didn't have to move a muscle, but all of a sudden, once it got there, had to make an adjustment. You can tell when they're knuckling out there, and he's able to make the catch out in center with a smile on his face.
They're mixing and matching their lineups. We've talked a lot about the Brewers and Craig Counsell having to do that. The Diamondbacks playing on without A.J. Pollock, who is trying to work his way back from a groin injury. Eric Thames at the plate now with 2 outs. In addition to Pollock working his way back, Yasmani Tomas also on the DL. He too with a groin strain. They have made it work. They have the best home record in the National League. Although the Brewers last night with the win stopped the home run that the Diamondbacks had here at Chase Field. The D-backs had won 9 straight, but they're still 24-9 in their home ballpark. And there's a ground ball as into the shift he goes. Chris Owings throw to first, and the Brewers are retired in order. Diamondbacks coming up in the home half of the first. quick inning of work for Zach Godley, and now the Diamondbacks get their first at-bat tonight. Torey Lovullo in his first year and has his team off to one of the better starts they've had in many years, 37-26, very much in the mix in the tough National League West. Let's check out the D-backs batting order presented by Potawatomi. Daniel Descalso will lead off, David Peralta, Paul Goldschmidt, and Jake Lamb in the cleanup spot, followed by Chris Owings, Brandon Drury, Chris Iannetta behind the plate, Ray Fuentes in center batting eighth. Zach Godley is on the mound against Junior Guerra.
Yeah, Guerra's been outstanding. He had to grind through his last start against the Giants. Split finger wasn't what it normally is. He's given up all of 2 earned runs in his 3 starts since coming off the disabled list, so he's throwing the baseball pretty well.
Was grinding it a bit against the Giants, but when you can say you worked 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, only 1 is earned, he gave his team a chance in the game that San Francisco did go on to win 7-2. Descalso at the top of the order tonight, and once again back in left field. He did reach on a walk last night. Otherwise, the Brewers kept him off the bags. Last couple of years, he was with the Rockies after a run with the St. Louis Cardinals. And he'll lift one into center field. Brett Phillips going back. The park's going to hold it. And at the track, there's out number 1. I mentioned Zach Godley and his work for this Arizona Diamondbacks team. Here he is coming off after that first inning. Get your glove and a divot. It's like you and I in a golf course.
Yeah.
Divot crew is out. It's a one-man crew. Yeah, I've had a lot on the fairway. Well, assuming I get one on the fairway, this is what happens. Then I walk 10 feet.
You can sprain an ankle in my divots.
Looks like you might sprain one there. That was Godley cut it up pretty good.
Yeah. Youthful exuberance, right?
Yes, sir. And Godley has been up and down with this Diamondbacks team, but when he's been up, he's been pitching very well with the 5 straight quality starts. David Peralta, the hitter, the right fielder. And Garrett quickly gets the jump. 2 strikes and nothing. You see the numbers for Peralta. And had a good night last night. A 3-hit night. Had a lot of offense in the game last night, and it began right away. We mentioned the Brewers scored 3 in the first, and the D-backs matched it, a wave and a miss. And quickly, Guerra retires the first 2 in the home half of inning number 1.
Yeah, right away, really good command for Junior Guerra. So let's take a look at the Brewers defense brought to you by Menards. You got Thames, Phillips, Santana in the outfield. Lewis Brinson's on his way here to the ballpark, so at some point you're going to see him this week. Perez, Arcia, Sogard, Aguilar from third to first. Manny Pena behind home plate. Brewers turn a lot of double plays.
71, as a matter of fact, going into this game tonight. Paul Goldschmidt settles in. He's had terrific numbers in his career against the Brewers, and in Miller Park they kept him relatively in check, but last night he was rounding back into form. A 2-hit night, was also hit by a pitch.
And the only guy to make contact off of Corey Knebel last night. Knebel inning and a third and a save and 3 strikeouts. Goldschmidt hit one deep into right. This guy can hit.
He can, and Knebel can pitch. Man, he's, it's easy, I guess, for some to focus on a couple of those save opportunities that got away, but man, he was electric again last night with that fastball that touched 100. Generally upper 90s, and then he snaps off that curve, and that is just a major problem for hitters to face.
Hey, it's tough enough to try and catch up to 99, 100 miles an hour, but you have a curveball to deal with as well. Tough duty.
And he closed the door. He got the save last night, made a winner of Zach Davies. 3-1 the count to Goldschmidt. It was the 8th save for Knebel, and the win for Davies, his 7th of this season. Mentioned the even nature of this series with the win last night. The all-time numbers now belong to Milwaukee by a game. 69-68. So it figures we had a close one last night. You figure more of the same if you're going to assume anything. 3-1 pitch coming up to the first baseman. And he draws a walk, and he draws a lot of them. That's the 45th, as a matter of fact.
Yep, a 3-1 curveball gives you a sense of how aggressive Junior wanted to be against Goldschmidt.
The Brewer fans still good to see Guerra back in there. The calf injury on opening day. And it wasn't until that matchup with the Diamondbacks on May 26th that he got back into the fold, into the rotation. So his fourth start since coming off the DL, and his second against the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Jake Lamb hit a home run off of Guerra back at Miller Park. Actually hit it on a breaking ball, not a splitter, not a fastball, but tried to flip one up there, and Lamb knocked it out of the ballpark.
Lamb a 3-run homer last night in the bottom of the first inning. Strike to the third baseman here, and here's what Rock is talking about.
Man, that breaking pitch, it stayed middle of the plate up, and Lamb did not waste it. Way back out and right. But other than that, Junior in lockdown mode against the Diamondbacks in that start.
0-1 to Lamb with 16 homers and a league leading 56 RBIs. That bounces up there. On the move is Goldschmidt, and he's in there.
All right, nice throw by Manny Pena. Got there quickly, and you know, Goldschmidt very aggressive. He's got good speed. That's the thing that surprises you about Paul Goldschmidt. He can run. Got that good secondary lead. Got a very good jump as soon as that ball got in the dirt. But look at the throw by Pena. Pretty close.
That was. They were taking a look at it. He ruled a wild pitch, but yeah, that's a heck of a job to make it close. And I think the Brewers are still trying to figure out whether they want a challenge here.
Well, counsel says nope.
It's impressive work by Pena. He had to block it, then go down and get it, and very nearly nabbed Goldschmidt.
It's amazing how straight he throws that ball when he throws sidearm.
You're right.
I mean, that's how hard he throws. Doesn't have time to, you know, slice or whatever. Doesn't have time to move on him.
Wave and a miss from Jake Lamb, and he's down to the count 1-2. These teams wrap up the series tomorrow afternoon, and then the Brewers have a scheduled off day on Monday before a split doubleheader with the St. Louis Cardinals coming up on Tuesday night. 1-2 pitch. That's taken. A throw down to second, and just getting back is Goldschmidt.
Pat Murphy going to get on the phone again. Wanted to throw just a little bit high. If it's a little bit lower, they're going to get him out easily at second base. I just love the way Manny Pena, aggressive with the throwing arm, trying to pick guys off. That Brewers wanted to look at it, apparently.
Yeah, that question though, is there enough evidence to overturn? It's close. The Brewers are so good at this. Man, thought it was there. Goldschmidt, who reached on that walk, by the way, which that allows him to tie a club record for the Diamondbacks. He has now reached safely in 37 straight games here at Chase Field.
I'll tell you, there was a replay on the scoreboard. Looked like it was out. There was an angle that came from around home plate.
We're getting a quick verdict, and he is out. How about that? They do it again. All season long, this Brewers team catching runners drifting off the bag. And this time it's Pena again catching the runner. We are through a scoreless first inning thanks to this from Manny Pena. Goldschmidt drifting off the bag at second. As that story with another chapter tonight as Pena catching a runner drifting a little too far off the bag. To the top of the second we go. Jesus Aguilar in the lineup and hitting cleanup tonight. This again the tag that allowed this call on the field to be overturned. Garcia laying it on to Goldschmidt there. Aguilar last night came through. We've talked a lot this season, and happily so, about games where that lower half of the order has delivered, and Aguilar rather was a part of that. Marcia was too, but for right now Aguilar a part of it in a pinch hit role. And he swings and sends one into left center field, and it's hit well, but the park's going to hold that right at the edge of the track. Fuentes for out number one. One away here in the second. Time now for our Car Soup scoop from the clubhouse. A lot of excitement, and we all get it. I mean, we're all excited to see a Brett Phillips, to see a Josh Hader, now Lewis Brinson on his way to the ballpark here, and he'll get here at some point tonight. Rock, I think it's probably good for all of us. I know you and BA have talked about it a lot. You have to try to pump the brakes on these guys. Let them get their feet wet. Let them get their opportunities. It's exciting, but let's not expect the world here, I guess, right away.
Yeah, they're prospects, and they're listed as prospects for a reason. They have a lot of ability, and they're putting together some pretty good numbers down in the minor leagues, but it is the minor leagues. This is a whole different animal here in the big leagues, and you're going to give them some time. These guys are going to perform. They're going to be productive, but it's going to take some time. It's just good to be able to see the guys that we have been talking about all season long. Now 3 of them have been called up in the last week.
Hernan Perez at the plate, and a ground ball to Chris Owings. Quickly, there are 2 men out in the second.
Pumping the brakes is a perfect explanation of what you have to do sometimes. I mean,
yeah,
you know, we here in TV, we like to get excited and speak in accolades and superlatives and things like that to get everybody excited, but you got to give them time to settle in. It's going to take a while.
Yeah, I think even in a case last night where you get Hader in the bullpen. Okay, he's got a bullpen now. He's warmed up in a bullpen in a major league game, and then we'll see him. He'll get out there on the mound, and we'll see Lewis Brinson. We've seen Brett Phillips. I think maybe now more than ever. I mean, I think there's always been excitement about prospects, but with all the media platforms, I mean, it's very easy to start penciling guys in for all-star appearances before they've had their first major league inning.
Right. Craig Counsell hinted that we may very well see Josh Hader in the game tonight, out of the bullpen.
And he was warming up in the game last night. It was a crazy game. As Manny Pena is at the plate. It's the kind of night where the way the game was going, the back and forth nature of it, that maybe wait a day or 2 or whatever you have to do before you put Josh Hader out there, especially against this team in this park. They're very, very good. A fly ball to right. Peralta will squeeze it, and another quick inning for Zach Godley here through an inning and a half here in Phoenix. No score. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Bottom of the second at Chase Field on a 99-degree evening here in Phoenix, Arizona. Scoreless, Brewers and Diamondbacks. Jake Lamb, who was at the plate to the bottom of the first, but Paul Goldschmidt was picked off at second. Lamb leads off here in the bottom of the second inning. Lamb, Owings, and Brandon Drury, the middle of the order. The numbers for Lamb, all-star worthy. Certainly a serious consideration, which he was last year. A fan vote, fell a little short, but had a terrific year. He did most of his damage in the first half of the season. Had a 29 home run year, but just 9 of those after the All-Star break. And it was, make no mistake, a breakout year for Jake Lamb.
Certainly deserving, both he and Goldschmidt. I mean, deserving of the starting nod in the All-Star game on each corner.
A ball, a strike. Second inning of work here for Junior Guerra. And this is going to drop into left field, a base hit. There's the game's first hit.
Yeah, pitch up and in, not a bad pitch, but Lamb able to fight it off. That pitch up and in, jammed him, but strong enough as that bat leveled out and able to dump it in front of Thames out in left field for the hit. Guy just has a nice swing. Doesn't have to barrel it up to get base hits.
So a leadoff single for the third baseman, and here's Chris Owings, the shortstop. It's a call for Nick Ahmed here tonight. And he's attacking the first pitch. Owings 0 for 4 last night. Putting together a good first half of the season, as you can see by those numbers.
Yeah, Corey Knebel really made him look bad in the ninth inning last night with the curveballs.
He did. Ate him up.
He threw some nasty, wicked curveballs to Owings and really didn't have a chance.
Knebel keeping that streak going now. 32 appearances and at least a strikeout in each of them. And it's just away from Pena, but they know better now. They're not going to test that arm. As Manny just whipped it down to second.
And just so quick getting to that baseball and instinctively able to get rid of it even before he's really looking. Check this out. I mean, this is pretty good work from Pena, and that throw had Lamb taken off. He would have out by probably 20 feet and decides to go back. Such a weapon behind home plate.
It was a factor at the plate once again last night was Pena. A ball, a strike to Chris Owings. A 25-year-old, a first-round pick by the Diamondbacks back in 2009. So he took over ahead of Didi Gregorius when they had him here. Now he's a Yankee and having a pretty good season, in fact, is Gregorius. A ball, 2 strikes. Mentioned at the top, the Brewers begin this game with a 2.5-game lead in the Central. The Cubs got smacked around against the Colorado Rockies this afternoon, 9-1. The Rockies, they continue to play very good baseball, and the Cubs continue to be very inconsistent. Check out a couple of those scores. Carlos Martinez, a complete game shutout for the Cardinals this afternoon over the Phillies.
Cubs have lost now 4 in a row.
It looked as though a few days ago they were starting to snap out of it. They were stringing a few wins together, and now, as you mentioned, they are on another losing skid. And the Brewers, with their 33-29 record, the one and only team in the Central above 500. Reds play the Dodgers in Los Angeles tonight. Pirates were 7-6 winners against the Marlins. 2-2 the count to Owings. Swing and a miss. And Guerra with his second strikeout of the night.
Yeah, Owings down on the split-fingered fastball. Let's go back to the 9th inning last night. The final out of the game, Corey Knebel and Chris Owings. Just check out the curveballs that Knebel throws to Chris Owings. I mean, this isn't even fair. I mean, there's a called strike, and then the battle is on. He fouls that one on. Now check this one out. Good luck. Final out of the game, and every pitch to Owings in that at bat, a curveball except for the first. But when you can throw that curveball when you're down in the count in a save situation.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you know you have it going on. And that gets away from Pena, and advancing will be Jake Lamb on to second.
Now that's where you want that split-fingered fastball, but not quite that much in the dirt. That one bouncing in front of home plate. You know, when Junior's out there on the mound, you know you're in for a busy night behind home plate, because the good splitters end up down there. But you hope they don't bounce in front of home plate.
He spiked a couple of them in front of the plate here this early stage of the game. So Jake Lamb in scoring position. He's at second with one out.
Just a different mindset, you know, for a catcher when you know Junior's out there on the mound, or anybody really with it, you know, that split-fingered fastball. You know you're going to have to block a lot of pitches, and just got to gear yourself up for it.
Brandon Drury, the hitter, doubled in last night's game. They're at second base tonight. Mention where the Brewers are in their division. The Diamondbacks 3.5 outs in the West. Rockies with that win today. That's their 41st victory of the season against 23 losses. Dodgers 3 out, followed by the Diamondbacks at 3.5. Drury hits one very high and in play to left field. That's Eric Thames.
Tough sky right now. Ooh. I mean, you know, it's kind of like twilight right now. Lights haven't really taken hold. You see Arcia, how far out in the left field he was, just in case Thames wasn't able to see the baseball. I just love to watch Orlando Arcia on plays that he is not directly involved in. He's always doing something.
Very active.
He is. That was a good example of it.
Yeah. A lot of energy. Here's Chris Iannetta. He had a big role in that series at Miller Park in one of those games. We'll get into that in a minute. Here's what you're talking about with Arcia. Look at him busted out there.
There's a fly ball to left. Look where he is. Yep, he sees it. All right, you can take it. But he was ready for it.
Never know when he might be needed for the rebound. Pops out of the mitt. There he is.
Yeah.
But you know what? He stayed out of the way, too, though. I'd say he kind of peeled back and let the big man handle it. Well, you mentioned Iannetta did that big home run that tied the game of the ninth at Miller Park, a game that the Diamondbacks went on to win. That wasn't the only big game he's had here lately. His last outing, last start on Thursday against the Padres, he drove in a career high 7 runs. He was hitting in the 2-hole that day, which surprised him, as you might imagine.
This guy's had a good career. Good solid catcher, has pop in that bat. He's hit some big home runs for the Diamondbacks.
That one against the Brewers. Yeah, you're right. He has 8 homers this season. Take a look what he has done throughout the course of his career. He's ahead in the count, 3-0 to Junior Guerra. Swinging away is Iannetta. With the Mariners last year was Iannetta, 4 years with the Angels. Originally drafted by the Colorado Rockies. With the big club there from 06 to 2011. 3-1 pitch. That is ball 4, and the Rockies with runners at first and second with 2 men out.
Hey, this Father's Day treat Dad to a special day at the ballpark. The Brewers are home against the Padres. That's next Sunday, June 18th, and the first 20,000 fans will get a Brewers golf umbrella courtesy of Palermo's Frozen Pizza. Visit Brewers.com to reserve your spot today. Father's Day coming up on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
A week from tomorrow.
Yeah. Be a big crowd, no doubt, at Miller Park. Get yourself an umbrella. If it rains or if the sun's beaten down and you need a little protection, like you do here a lot. You get out, took a walk today, though, huh? You toughed it out.
Yeah. I walked down to a restaurant that I like to go to. Of course, I went for the break even. You know, I walk to a restaurant, I eat. Had a Cuban sandwich, walk back. So I might have still gained a couple ounces.
Attaboy. Well, if you're going to walk in this weather.
Got to stay hydrated. Water. You got to have water here.
Ray Fuentes at the plate. At least you walked. You know, some guys probably just would take the shuttle.
Mm-hmm. That's a good option.
You know, maybe the smart one. Oh, 1 the count to Fuentes, the center fielder tonight. And he pops this one up. Arcia waving everybody away, and Orlando will take care of it, and that'll do it for the Diamondbacks. They strand a pair, but Guerra keeps them off the board through 2. Backs, we move to the 3rd inning at Chase Field. Time now for the unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Lorenzo Cain today against the Padres. That's half decent day. Second career grand slam on a 3-hit day. The former Brewer Mike Fiers, check it out, 7 1/3, 2-hit, 1-run baseball. Those Astros, man, they are just cleaning up. And mentioned it earlier, bringing up again Carlos Martinez. He gets the first complete game of his career. You know how good he can be when he's on. Today he was on. Check it out. He needed all of 107 pitches to blank the Phillies.
Yeah, he's got nasty stuff. Good change up, very aggressive. And he had it going on today. Like Kansas City with a 12-6 win today.
Those Astros just keep on keeping on. Now, are they 44-19? As they are the team running away and hiding in baseball this year. Brett Phillips leading off here for the Brewers in the 3rd inning.
Coming into play today, a 12-game lead, the Houston Astros.
Yeah, they and the Nationals with the double-digit leads in their divisions. Washington up 10.5 over the Mets. 2-strike pitch to Phillips. Just did get a piece to stay alive. Or did he? Yeah, he did.
That's that curveball from Godley. He threw a lot of curveballs against the Brewers back at Miller Park. Haven't seen too many yet today.
No balls, 2 strikes. Godley just called back up on Tuesday after Yasmani Tomas went on the disabled list with a groin injury. He's been up and down, and it all started with the injury to Shelby Miller. That's strike 3 called, and there is out number 1. First strike out of the night for Zach Godley, who has retired the first 7 Brewers tonight.
And catching the outside corner with this fastball, actually a cutter, I believe it was. So he's got the cutter, he's got the 2-seamer, the sinker. And those are pretty decent numbers, I would say, in his last 5 starts. Opponent batting average of 219.
Yeah, not bad for a guy who goes up and down between the Diamondbacks and the minor leagues. Facing Orlando Arcia. We mentioned Godley started to get back into the mix again because of the season-ending elbow injury, the Tommy John surgery required for Shelby Miller. Opens the door here for the 27-year-old Godley. Originally a Cubs draft pick in 2013. He was working out of the bullpen in the Cubs system, and they traded him in December of 14. He was part of the Miguel Montero deal. And in that process of becoming a Diamondback, this organization started to transition him into being a starter. Had 9 starts a year ago, and as you saw by the numbers, when he starts this year, he has been tough to deal with.
A good athlete. I mean, fields his position well. He reminds me a lot. Remember Dave Bush, pitcher for the Brewers?
Right.
Very similar type build. You know, has different pitches, but I mean, same approach to pitching that Dave Bush used to have.
Arcia into center field, and the guy had 3 infield hits last night. This one leaves the infield, and Arcia with the first hit of the evening for the Crew.
Yeah, left that one upstairs, and Arcia would get it right off the end of the bat. It didn't hit it hard, but you don't have to. It's that cut fastball that was up and away, and Arcia right off the end dumps it in front of Fuentes in center. First hit for Milwaukee.
Both teams with a hit. And Junior Guerra trying to lay one down, and he does. And it'll be Jake Lamb fielding it, and the sacrifice is complete. Out number 2.
Yeah, good job right there. Iannetta allowed Lamb to make the play. His momentum was going toward first. And then Iannetta busted it down to third base because nobody was there. As soon as he knew Lamb had the play, he went down to third to make sure Arcia didn't walk to third base.
So 2 men out with Arcia the runner at second for Eric Sogard. Looking for his first hit here in the series is Sogard, but still with very impressive numbers here for Milwaukee. On base percentage coming in at .409. Again back in there at the leadoff spot. If you're just checking in, Jonathan VR on the 10-day disabled list with that strained lower back. Lewis Brinson called up. VR's injury, Sogard, the second baseman here tonight. was one heck of a play that VR made, though, when he did in fact get hurt, taking a base hit away from Chris Herman, took an RBI away from him, in fact.
Able to bounce off the field, on that dive to catch the baseball, and he was hurt. He's still able to get up and make a throw to first to get the out.
And they're going to try to nab Arcia here, but Iannetta unable to do so. We go back to that play last night. The nature of that game, you could argue that this was a game saver. By strict definition, no, but just the way the ebb and flow of the game, it may very well have been.
It was leadoff double in the 8th inning, and that play made the first out of the inning. And Diamondbacks ended up not scoring a run, ended up a Brewers win by 2.
Two balls, 1 strike to Eric Sogard. He swings and sends one in the left center field, and on the run, Fuentes will make the catch, and that'll do it for the Brewers here in the 3rd to get their first hit, but we stay scoreless. Sweet. Love that. Love that reference right there, Jeff Grayson. And the rest, as they say, is history. They got that guy Lou Alcindor. Hey, by the way, it's great to hear news today. The Bucks next season, they're going to play a game at the Mecca.
Nice.
Yeah, the date to be determined. They still await the NBA schedule, but they're celebrating their 50 years of existence. That for those who remember, man, that is a big deal. That'll be fun.
I saw games there.
Great memories for Bucks fans in that building. Zach Godley leading off the 3rd here for Arizona. 9-1-2 in the order for the D-backs. The 3-0 pitch to him is in there for a strike. As opposed to last night, it's a quiet beginning offensively, and I guess the underlying word there would be beginning. These are 2 very good offenses, but the makings of a couple of really good pitching matchups. One perhaps unfolding before our very eyes tonight, and tomorrow, Robbie Ray and Chase Anderson. Those are two right now the hot pitchers in all of baseball.
Yeah, Robbie Ray really threw a good game against Milwaukee at Miller Park, and Chase Anderson, there's nobody been better than he has as of late.
They have both put up a whole lot of zeros of late, and there is a walk to the pitcher to begin the third inning for Arizona. Check out what's on tap, presented by Miller Lite. Look at those numbers, and both have been even better, much better of late. 5-1 Chase Anderson, 6-3 Robbie Ray, both with sub-3 ERAs. We'll get our coverage tomorrow going at 2:30 here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Ray had some 27 plus of scoreless innings, and Chase has what, 21 in the third, two-thirds.
Going to see some good changeups tomorrow from both of them.
Yes, sir. There's Daniel Descalso.
Yeah, Junior Guerra ready with 3 walks, so command an issue so far. He's given up only 1 hit, but 3 walks.
Allowed 3 and 5 innings of work in his last outing against the Giants. Actually, he's walked 3 in each of his first 3 outings since coming off the DL. And has fallen behind in the count here to Descalso. It's another view here of what's going on with Junior Guerra. Let's check in with Jerry Augustine.
Well, what Junior Guerra tonight is that when you talk about the split finger, we want that to be a very important pitch. It's a pitch that really he can throw out a strike zone and makes things happen. But it all starts with his fastball command. And it looks like he just doesn't have as good command of his fastball. When he's got the good command of his fastball, the split finger comes right with it because it's the same type of arm action. Your release point is almost the same. So it just looks like Junior Guerra doesn't have good command of the fastball. After the last inning, he and Manny were walking off, and Manny was trying to tell him, stay back, get the fastball, get ahead of the hitters, and everything will fall into place. So these are things that Junior is struggling so far tonight.
All right, that got a meeting with the pitching coach, Derek Johnson, and we'll see if Guerra can settle down. 2-0 the count to Descalso.
Just that repeatable delivery for Junior Guerra. Normally it's pretty easy for him to do that, but it's all about the release point. And when a guy's not being able to throw consistent strikes, not that he's trying to be too fine, just the release point's a little bit off.
2-1 pitch coming to Descalso. There we go.
Then you get yourself right back into the count, and maybe give yourself throw a good split fingered fastball here.
See, the numbers are light in terms of batting average for Descalso, but he has homered 5 times and rips one out of play here. Good story here in the Phoenix paper about how Paul Goldschmidt, the offseason, knowing that Descalso was available, really wanted him. Was impressed with what he did in his 2 years in Colorado. Certainly the background good for him in St. Louis. Good utility player, very versatile. Had his struggles in left field last night, but he's only been out there 20 games in his career. 13 of them this season.
Well, and again, you got to be creative when you've got some guys on the disabled list, right? I mean, you got Tomas on the DL. He's your pretty much everyday left fielder, big power. That's why you have to, especially in the National League, have guys that can play anywhere. Descalso fits that bill.
And the Brewers clearly with their share of players who can play a variety of positions as well. 2-2 pitch. Descalso spent 5 years with the Cardinals, including their championship season of 2011. Guerra walked the leadoff hitter, the pitcher, Zach Godley, and now has run the count full on Descalso. Pitch number 8 coming here in this at-bat. Back-to-back walks here in the 3rd.
Hey, this season you can eat fresh and score big with the fan favorite ticket giveaway from Subway restaurants. For every $25 you spend at Subway, you'll earn a free Brewers ticket. Visit your local Subway restaurant for details.
Back-to-back walks here in the 3rd, and Diamondbacks have a little something going with David Peralta at the plate. Goldschmidt and Lamb will follow. First pitch swinging, and then that gets Phillips turned around, but he runs it down for the first out.
Yeah, that's a lonely feeling out there in the outfield. At least that's what I'm told anyway. I've never been in that spot. You turn yourself around. That ball was hit on the button by Peralta. Barrels it up, and what the one that's hit right over the outfielder's head a lot of times is the toughest one to judge. Spins himself around, takes his eye off the baseball, but able to make the catch.
Able to exhale.
He's saying it had a little bit of carry to it.
Figure all these guys getting their first taste of the big leagues. You're getting used to not just the level of play, but the ballparks you're in.
Hey, you don't have the 3rd deck in the minor leagues.
Nope.
And that can play tricks on your eyes when you're not used to it. Yeah, the lights are a little bit higher. There are more lights in different spots. You got the ribbon boards here at just about every ballpark, and it takes getting used to.
You see a big crowd here at Chase Field tonight as well. 0-1 to Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt walked in the 1st inning, advanced on a wild pitch, and then got picked off by Manny Pena. But the walk means that Goldschmidt has reached base now in 37 straight home games. That ties him with Stephen Drew for the club record in that department. He does a little bit of everything. Goldschmidt, 4-time All-Star. Couple of Gold Gloves. And you see he is putting together another All-Star caliber year this year. Very dangerous in situations like this.
Yeah, because he knows that he's the one that can be relaxed in these spots. He doesn't panic. He does a lot of things, but one thing he doesn't do is swing out of the zone too much. That's why he is very good in these spots.
Zach Godley, the runner at second. Descalso at first, both reaching on walks. And that's hit on the ground to Aguilar. He'll turn it to Sogard for 1. Back to first, a double play. Guerra covering as a double play will end the inning. The 72nd double play turned by the Crew. And Guerra, who gave up back-to-back walks to begin the inning, gets out of it. Aguilar to Sogard to Guerra. Scoreless after 3. Arizona had something going. Junior Guerra with a couple of walks to begin the inning, but he worked out of it. And it's always nice to get the old 3-4-1 double play. Check it out.
Yeah, the toughest of all. I mean, it's usually the 3-6-3 double play, but the way the shifts are these days, that was Aguilar to Sogard back to Junior Guerra, who busted it over to first base, getting himself out of a pickle. Yeah, good pitch. They started out with a good pitch to Goldschmidt right on the outside corner.
So the game remains scoreless as like Junior was going to be grinding there. You walk the pitcher and then you walk to Scalzo, and that was it though. A liner off the bat of Peralta, and Goldschmidt hits into a double play. 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Brewers. Domingo Santana line to center in the first inning. He's back into the 2-hole here tonight. Just see the mixing up of the lineups. And, you know, a lot of this necessity. You don't have Braun, you don't have Shaw. Now you don't have VR. This Brewer team continues to make it work.
Yeah, they have. Bottom of the order really pitching in too. Guys, bottom of the order in last night's game came up huge, especially the pinch hitters.
See Ryan Braun doing some on-field work, but we're not ready to tell for sure when exactly he'll be back. Keon Broxton not in the lineup again tonight. Brett Phillips out there in center, but
the Brewers have weathered the storm without Ryan Braun pretty well, and that's not easy to do. And being without that bat in the middle of your lineup.
That's what you're talking about, that bottom of the order, the 5 through 9 hitters. Yeah, that'll give you a chance. Go 11 for 20. Drive it in 6.
Yep, Aguilar Franklin pinch hit in the 9th spot and drove in 3 runs.
Some very good work all the way around. And Santana will lift one into right field. Lots of room for Peralta. First out here in the 4th.
Hey, with MLB.TV Premium, you can watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Visit MLB.TV for details.
1 out of the 4th for Eric Thames. Thames last night walked and doubled. Grounded to short to end the first inning. Both teams with just 1 hit so far tonight. Thames entering the game with a .409 on base percentage. And a bouncer to Goldschmidt. And there are 2 men out. Only hit so far for the Brewers, and Orlando Arcia 1-out single in the 3rd inning. Craig Counsell and his bench coach Pat Murphy get his guys to figure out the mystery that is Zach Godley, as he has been very effective to say the least against the Brewers. The outings he has had. This is his 4th appearance against Milwaukee, his 3rd start. He entered with an .073 earned run average, and Aguilar just gets plunked.
I got him with a curveball. That's not going to hurt him too bad. See that spike curveball? Looked like he got him right in the hip. Stomach, even better.
So Aguilar, the 2-out base runner. Just the 2nd base runner of the night here for Milwaukee. Hernan Perez steps in. He had a hit last night. Made it count, though. A home run. His 8th of the year. Both of these teams have a lot of power, and here's a drive. left field, and it is gone. Perez again goes deep, and the Brewers are on the board. 2-0 Milwaukee.
Well, quick hands on that inside corner. Fastball in. 93 miles an hour, and just like that, Hernan Perez puts a 2-spot on the board. Check that out. I mean, talk about quick hands and able to keep it fair. Back-to-back nights for Hernan Perez with home runs. This one a 2-run shot. No doubt with the left. Powerball home run count number 9 for Perez. 2-0 Crew.
So another trend continuing here for Milwaukee, and that is a trend that has them in the lead 55 times in this, the 63rd game of the year. The Brewers have led, and that run is now 16 games.
And another trend, scoring with 2 outs. Scored a number of runs last night with 2 outs.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks scored a truckload of runs against the Padres last 2 games of that series with 2 outs. And you're right, the Brewers were doing just that last night, doing it again here this evening after a flyout from Santana, a ground ball from Thames, Aguilar hit by a pitch, and then Perez launched one. 2 strikes and nothing to Manny Pena. And that'll do it for the Crew here in the 4th inning, but a scoring inning for the Brewers, courtesy of Hernan Perez, his 9th big fly of the year. And it gives Milwaukee a 2-0 lead through 3 1/2. Here in the 4th inning, Hernan Perez with a 2-run homer. Hey, join Brewers pitcher Matt Garza and teammates for the Brewers Bowl-a-thon on Sunday, August 13th. Enjoy a silent auction and, of course, bowling with Brewers players are raising money for the Joy House, a shelter to help women and children reclaim their lives from homelessness. Sign up today to register. Visit brewers.com/bowling or call 414-902-4581. Brewers first on the board here tonight as Jake Lamb, the cleanup hitter, will lead things off against Junior Guerra. Guerra worked out of some trouble in the 3rd inning as he walked the pitcher Zach Godley, and then Daniel Descalso got a fly ball from David Peralta and then a ground ball from Paul Goldschmidt. 3-4-1. Aguilar to Sogard, and racing over was Guerra to wrap up that double play. The way you want to face Lamb with the bases empty. He singled in the 2nd inning.
A little jam shot in the left field. A good pitch by Junior, but Lamb able to fight it off.
Saw his statistics at OPS now at 957 for Lamb. Goldschmidt, both with huge numbers in that stat line. Two balls, two strikes.
Really doing a good job getting in on his hands. You know, Junior remembering that home run that Lamb hit against him at Miller Park, the curveball. So he's trying to avoid something off speed down the middle. That'd be a good time to maybe break out that split. But you better get it down.
Here comes the 2-2. That is hit in the air to center field. Room for Phillips. There is out number one. Well, I'm going to send it down to Jerry Augustine here. It's always interesting to watch the catchers work with the pitchers. Rock, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this as well. But Augie, we'll start with you. What are you seeing right now with Pena as he's helping his pitcher along here tonight?
Well, you know, you have those nights when you don't have that good command. We talked earlier about he doesn't have that good feel for the split fingers, fastballs, not in the good command. But you see Manny Pena really working hard. This is one great example of how you see a pitcher who has a lot of confidence in that guy behind the plate. And what Manny's trying to do, he's trying to get Junior in that spot where he's feeling comfortable with all his pitches.
Okay, how important is that for a pitcher to go out there realizing that his catcher is equally involved in trying to get through a game as you are on the mound?
It is extremely important. That confidence that you have in that catcher, and Rock, you've been there where guy doesn't quite have a curveball or doesn't have a split finger or whatever it is, and you just utilize that pitch at different times to get him back. But as a pitcher, if you have a catcher behind the plate who you have a lot of confidence that you know if you throw the pitch to a good spot that he puts down, you're going to have success, it really helps you.
Yeah, there's nothing like that that unspoken communication between pitcher and catcher. And you see a lot of it between Guerra and Pena, not just tonight, but you know, throughout his starts. You remember that was kind of the case, Augie, with Maldonado and Willie Peralta, and that really does make a difference.
It really does. That just that confidence you need with your catcher, and you know we've both been there. We've had times when we've been out there didn't have it, and you've been out when a pitcher doesn't have it. But it's that confidence and that ability to put down pitches, and when you keep going with that, all of a sudden things start falling into place, and hopefully that will for Junior Guerra.
It's interesting to listen to you guys talk about that because there's just so much that goes on in a game. I mean, you think it's, you know, if you know the pace could be down or whatever, but there's a lot going on, a lot of either conversation or just eye contact between pitcher and catcher. I suppose, Rock, you've got to kind of know the personality of the pitcher a little bit too, and just kind of know what buttons to push.
Right, absolutely. I mean, you got to go out there. You got to know when to really kick a guy in the butt once in a while, or go out there and tell them, hey, you got really good stuff. They're hitting some good pitches. You got to lie to them sometimes.
That's right.
To get them to a game.
Whatever it takes. No, that's a fun conversation there. We check in with Augie throughout this weekend, and with the pitcher's perspective, and with Rock, always the catcher's perspective.
I noticed that you know, Pena gave a wink over to Guerra after that pop-up that Owings hit. It might have been one of those situations where they were deciding what to throw, and Junior probably acquiesced to Pena, got the out, and the response was, see, follow me, I'll tell you what to do.
I'll take you home.
Yeah, a little wink to him and saying, see, I know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, that's fun.
Look at the sign here.
2-strike pitch to Drury, and that's slapped over to third, snapped up by Perez. And that's a nice clean inning for Junior Guerra. We are through 4, 2-0 Brew Crew. Emotions can be fun. Check this out last night in Atlanta. They let a fan race. He's not an Olympic medalist, but he's a guy who runs pretty well. I guess he's a member of the grounds crew there, but he's a track athlete. Check out the dude, though, who thinks he's got this race won. Yep, he's going to start waving. Come on, come on. And then the blow by. And then the nosedive. Look at the look on his face. Where'd you come from?
Yeah, no kidding, huh? He had a big head start, too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's going to tell all his buddies for the rest of his life that was a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. Hey, there's Lewis Brinson in the house.
Got here early.
All right.
And talking to Craig Counsell before the game, he was anticipating about a 9 o'clock arrival.
Check it out.
You know, it's good that, when a guy comes up to the big leagues for the first time, he knows everybody. And his time in the minor leagues. Of course, he probably played with a number of the guys in the minor leagues last year. Makes a big difference when you kind of feel that comfort level right away. Everybody glad to see you.
23-year-old Lewis Brinson.
You know what? Ted Simmons didn't do a dance when he saw me come up in Texas.
Just going to ask you that. You didn't get any, back slaps. How you doing? No fist bumps.
Well, I got that, but he didn't dance for me.
Oh yeah, Keon's still here. He's excited for him.
That's great.
Well, everybody talks about how impressive he is, and Rock, you've just seen him in spring training. I know a lot of fans had a chance to meet Lewis Brinson at Brewers on Deck back in January. They had he was there, Josh Hader was there, Brett Phillips was there. And just get a chance to meet some of these guys, and everybody talks about their personalities, just really good, solid guys. And there you see the story with Lewis Brinson, of course, involved in that trade with Jonathan Lucroy and Jeremy Jeffress.
Brewers' #1 prospect this year.
He had a hit for the Sky Sox last night, by the way. And there's Brett Phillips, a swing and a miss, and that's how inning number 5 begins. I would imagine his head is spinning a little bit right now, Lewis Brinson. He's taking it in.
So this is the big leagues.
Looking around.
We're at number 20.
A little irony there, considering who was involved in that trade. Talking with Jason Lane there in the dugout. Orlando Arcia at the plate. He singled in the 3rd inning. That's the first hit of the night for the Brewers. They have 2. The other coming from Hernan Perez, a 2-run homer in the 4th.
Nobody's really sure how long these guys are going to be in the big leagues with the Brewers this year, but these are invaluable experiences that they're getting. Being here, getting your feet wet, just getting a taste of the major leagues, and that is going to be a big incentive when they do, if in fact they go back to the minor leagues.
And Arcia goes around as Iannetta will secure it. And a couple of strikeouts here for Zach Godley. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for him. Well, here's how the list looks with the prospects, the top 10 right now, according to MLBpipeline.com.
3 of them here.
Right.
Yeah, we saw a lot of these guys in spring training this year, and a lot of good talent all sprinkled throughout the minor league system for Milwaukee.
Guerra with a ground ball to Owings, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Well, Lewis Brinson is here. And the Brewers lead 2-0 halfway through.
This offseason, I got teared up a little bit just thinking about like counsel or whoever called me in the office and tell me I'm going to the big leagues, and that's been like a lifelong since I was 3-4 years old, watching, Juan Pierre and watching the Marlins teams in 2003. Just wanted to be on those fields out there and just winning and having fun, and baseball is just a passion for me. And to reach that ultimate goal, all the hard work that I put in since I was, in middle school playing baseball, it all pays off once you get that call. So, and it keeps paying off once you get up there. So my ultimate goal is just to stay up there, and it's gonna be a life-changing experience when I get that call.
And he got that call today, and he arrived not long ago as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning with Junior Guerra and the Brewers leading 2-0. Chris Iannetta attacking the first pitch. 7-8 to 9 here in the Arizona order.
Yeah, that story that you heard from Brinson, no different than any other guy that got to the big leagues the first time. It's very difficult to get your first taste of the big leagues, but it's even more difficult to stay.
That's right.
That's harder.
Well, most of us can only imagine the feeling. For all you guys who lived it, I mean, it just,
yeah.
I mean, it never gets old hearing the story too. I mean, we saw Brinson in the dugout. He's kind of looking around a little bit. Guys talk to him. Jason Lane's talking to him, but you can't help it. Just take a look around the ballpark. Take it in.
What's really awe-inspiring is when you play in a ballpark that you attended games at when you were young.
Right.
My first game at Yankee Stadium. Incredible feeling.
Hear your name announced by Bob Shepard. Strike 3 called there as Guerra, with his 3rd strikeout of the night, backwards K to take care of Iannetta.
Now starting to feel a little bit better about what he's doing out there in the mound. Much better command. There's that split-fingered fastball that catches the bottom part of the zone.
Guerra has given up just 1 hit, a 2nd inning single to Jake Lamb. Guerra has walked 4. Retired the side in order in the 4th inning and delivers a strike to Ray Fuentes.
He's gotten a lot of mileage out of fastballs in tonight. I guess if you're a Diamondback hitter, you're going up there thinking splitter, right? The fastball in, an effective pitch. Really, anytime you see Junior setting up right down the middle, you can pretty much be sure what he's going to be throwing. It's going to be the split. Because unless you're 2-0, 3-1, even then you're really not down the middle. But with a splitter, that's where you set up.
One pitch coming to Fuentes. In the air to left field. Eric Thames late break, and it gets by, and that's trouble. Fuentes rounding second. On his way to third, and he'll hold there as backing up was Brett Phillips, coming all the way over to help his teammate.
Boy, not sure what happened there. That's about as routine as it gets. Thames misjudged it. Got under his glove, and a good thing that Phillips was backing him up. He went a long way to back that play up. That might have been 4 bases had Phillips not been there. Because Thames is coming in hard. He's on the ground. And he's limping in for that baseball. And look at Phillips, the center fielder.
Yeah, you're right. He did not look comfortable going back.
And that's the last thing the Brewers need, right? Another guy hurt. He's been battling leg problems throughout the season. First of all, he misjudges it, and then really doesn't have the ability to make up ground and misses it. You see him limping as he chases it down.
Zach Godley at the plate. Fuentes the runner at third. And a ground ball to short. Arcia will throw home, and he's out at home. Fuentes cut down.
Boy, how about that?
Whoa, what a play.
And Junior Guerra Getting the ground ball. I'm not sure what Fuentes was thinking. It took him a long time to get a break off of third base. Playing back, and look at Fuentes. He's just standing there. That's the only reason that they're able to get the out. I mean, it's pretty close play. It looked like he might have got his hand in there, did he?
Yeah,
good pick by Pena. Yeah, he might be safe.
Yeah, D-backs may be challenging this here.
One of two things. I mean, Pena's blocking home plate, number one. And not sure if Fuentes actually touched the plate. So I think Torey Lovullo is kind of describing a couple of different things that they want him to take a look at. Manny Pena literally sitting right in front of home plate on that play. You can't block the plate without the baseball.
That was one thing we did not have last night. We had so many other things going on. But we get a challenge here from Arizona. You can hear from the reaction of the crowd what it thinks. As they will await the word from New York.
That is a heck of a slide by Fuentes because Pena was right in front of home plate. Check it out. Check this out. He avoids the collision, grabs the plate with his hand. I think this is going to be overturned.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That is a heck of a play by Fuentes. First of all, he got a bad break. I don't know why he got such a bad break off of third. Good play by Pena to pick it. The original call is out.
And it's been overturned. So a run is in. And that gets the Diamondbacks on the board.
A heck of a slide by Fuentes, though. Made up for a very bad base running play. Now, so the misplay out and left cost the Brewers a run.
So back to the top of the order, and Godley is the runner at first. For Daniel Descalso has flied to center and walked to the third inning. Shift is on for Descalso. He pops this one up. Aguilar will run out of room. D-backs get their first run of the night. A misplayed fly ball by Eric Thames, and then Godley a bouncer to short. Garcia trying to nab Fuentes at the plate. Calling the field out, but it was overturned.
I think Garcia had an opportunity to set himself, crow hop, and make a good strong throw to home. Instead, threw it off balance and short hop Pena.
One pitch to Descalso.
Watch the jump from Fuentes. He actually just stays there. I think Orlando, if he has to do over again, he sets himself and makes a good throw to home. I think it'd be a much different result if he did that. Of course, that's bang bang. You can't really fault him for what he did.
Both teams now with 2 hits. They're missing away, 2-1 to count. Brewers broke through in the 4th inning on an Hernan Perez 2-run homer. The D-backs getting on the board here in the 5th. Chopper, Aguilar, and over to Sogard, or rather Arcia, I should say, for the force at second. And there are 2 men out.
Yeah, did a good job that time. Did Aguilar clearing the runner going to second base. Very aggressive is Aguilar on this play. He makes an extra step to make sure he doesn't hit Godley in the back, who never did slide. You see he has a throwing lane right there. Able to get the lead runner.
2 men out. Descalso the runner at first for David Peralta. Peralta struck out in the first, line to center into third. A fly ball here to Domingo Santana. And that will do it for Arizona, but a triple off the bat of Fuentes. RBI ground ball from Godley gets the D-backs on the board. Here at Chase Field, Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Positive Coaching Alliance in its mission to develop better athletes and better people by working to provide all youth and high school athletes a positive character-building sports experience. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. Business picking up here as the Brewers lead it 2-1. They picked up their runs in this fourth inning on a 2-run shot from Hernan Perez. The D-backs getting to Junior Guerra for the first time in the fifth inning. A Fuentes triple and then scored on a ground ball off the bat of Zach Godley. Top of the order here for Milwaukee: Sogard, Santana, and Thames. Sogard a liner to right. So a fly ball to center field. Closest thing to a slump he's had as a Brewer. He has just been terrific. Already 3 home runs for him, including one on Thursday afternoon against the Giants.
Well, did you figure he was going to hit 450 for the season, right?
No, I thought that'd be a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it is a game of averages. He's still sitting at 364.
Yeah, not bad. One hopper to Goldschmidt, and there's out number 1 in the 6th.
Having the same conversation with folks around town about Thames in the month of April.
Yeah, that historic month.
You know, I mean, you just can't continue that kind of pace, and it's a game of averages. And at the end of the season, you kind of look at your season and say, yeah, it was a pretty good one. You can evaluate it in blocks, you know, maybe a week. You know, you evaluate it for a week, and then a month, and then the first half, and then the entire season.
And those two guys have been around a little bit, you know, right? I mean, we're seeing Thames coming back from his time in Korea. Eric Sogard, some years with the A's. They get it. I think they understand that that's how it works.
The idea is to keep the rough stretches to a minimum. Keep them to a minimum and have them a short period of time, maybe 3-4 games if you're one of the good ones.
Domingo Santana trying to extend his hitting streak, which is currently at 9 games. Line to center, fly to right. showing some power here this season as we take a look at the Powerball home run leaderboard. Eric Thames still ahead of the pack with the 16, but Santana now with 11. Travis Shaw 10. Hernan Perez hit number 9 tonight. 2-run blast in the 4th inning. There he is as Hernan has homered in each of the first 2 games of this series. Solo shot last night. And Santana draws a walk. 1 out, 1 on here in inning number 6. And here is Eric Thames.
Yeah, another good eye for Santana. That's the other part of his game that's been very good. Not just been hot at the plate, getting hits, driving in runs, but drawing walks.
It's 30 of them now that he has drawn. Thames has walked 41 times. He's at the plate now. And he goes the other way. And that's Descalso. He'll squeeze it. 2 out. Two runs, 2 hits for the Brewers. A run on 2 hits for the Diamondbacks. Zach Godley and Junior Guerra hooking up in a good one here tonight. Here is Jesus Aguilar. Let's check out his night at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Fly ball to center in the 2nd inning, was hit by a pitch, fortunately a curveball. Clipped him in the midsection. First pitch swinging, a ground ball to short. Backhand snag by Owings, and that'll do it for the Brewers in the 6th. Still 2-1 Milwaukee as we move to the bottom of the 6th.
Pushing 11 o'clock.
It is.
Still coming out with the great nuggets.
He does not rest on Saturday night. He is working hard back there. Jeff Grayson, our Fox Sports studio. Paul Goldschmidt leading things off. Bottom of inning number 6.
It's like anything else. Don't you like being around people to enjoy their work?
That's exactly right.
And whether you're at a restaurant, a ballpark, or your crack post-game host on the road.
He's having fun. And always good nuggets. Goldschmidt walked in the 1st, hit into a double play in the 3rd, and a swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. Goldschmidt, Lamb, and Chris Owings. Diamondbacks scored their one and only run here so far in the 5th. And a chance over there, short for Arcia, first out of the inning.
Hey, every great beard deserves a great T-shirt. And on Monday, June 19th, all fans at Miller Park for the Brewers game against the Padres will get an Eric Thames Revere the Beard T-shirt courtesy of BP Come On Back Club. Tickets start at just $6 at Brewers.com. Should have had Jeff Grayson do that.
Exactly.
Could have got it out of the way when he was talking about Charlie Blackmon and our former president. And just put the graphic up.
There you go. Revere the beard of Eric Thames. Jake Lamb with a hot shot, gobbled up by Aguilar. Out number 2.
Yeah, so far so good handling Goldschmidt and Lamb for Junior Guerra.
Lamb a harmless single in the 2nd inning. That's it. Goldschmidt a walk. That's it. Also hit into a double play did Goldschmidt. That was a big one in the 3rd inning.
Anything short of keeping him in the ballpark is handling him well.
Yes, it is. It's 29 home runs between those two. Goldschmidt with 13 and Lamb with 16. Here's Chris Owings. Pitching the name of the game here so far tonight. Godley and Guerra, each allowing just a couple of hits. Oh, 1 to Owings. First player acquired under David Stearns, Junior Guerra. Quite the find. Terrific year last year. After being injured on opening day, has come back at the end of May, and now the start number 4 for him. He is pitching pretty well.
Picking up right where he left off last year. And the thing that's impressive about Junior, a lot of times he's doing it not with his best stuff. I mean, grinding through some of these starts, but keeping the opposition off the board even when he falls behind in the count. Now he's walked 4. He's only given up 1 run, and really that was a mistake in the outfield that cost him a run.
Okay, in the books as a triple, but a late break from Thames. Good hustle from Brett Phillips to back him up. You're right. You know, Guerra wasn't necessarily on his A game against the Giants, but gave up just 1 earned run in 5 innings. 2-2 pitch, and that slips through as Owings. A base hit to right.
It's only the 5th hit of the game. Yeah, between both teams. A 2-out single to right for Chris Owings on a 2-ball, 2-strike fastball. Went right with it.
Owings on with 2 men out for Brandon Drury. The 24-year-old second baseman. Fly ball and a ground out from Drury so far tonight. Draft pick of the Atlanta Braves. Was involved in a trade over here back in January of 13. It involved, among others, Randall Delgado, Nick Ahmed, all part of the Justin Upton deal. It was a 7-player trade. Owings has 9 stolen bases this year. He's been caught twice.
And down near the bottom half of the batting order, you might expect him to try and steal a base.
Runner holds, and a swing and a miss from Drury. Came in last night, did Drury, was not in the lineup, but then came on and in the 8th inning doubled. And what followed was a Chris Herman ground ball, the terrific play by Jonathan Villar. Take a hit away, take an RBI away from Herman. Big play in that game. Guerra ready with a 1-strike pitch. Carry into the seats.
And good location on the fastball. Drury felt as though he should have hit that one somewhere pretty hard. That pitch down and away. Good pitch. This might be running time for Owings. An 0-2 count. A split-fingered fastball count. That's a good pitch to run on.
It is 9 out of 11. Stolen bases is Chris Owings. Drury last year's split his time here with the Diamondbacks, playing the corner outfield spots as well as second and third. They're at second tonight for Torey Lovullo. No secret, this is a prime opportunity here if you're going to run. Owings very well be on the go, as Rock mentioned.
As much as this is a good running count, or you think he might run on a splitter, this might be an opportunity to pitch out as well. 0-2.
The 0-2 pitch, runner holding. You certainly do it at risk against Manny Pena.
And plus Junior Gary gets rid of it quickly. One of the better throwing catchers in the big leagues.
Pena has thrown out 6 attempted base stealers. Also picked off Goldschmidt here tonight off the bag at second. That bounces up there. Good block again by Pena.
Not satisfied with just blocking a splitter in the dirt, trying to pick a guy off as well. That ball in the dirt, that base runner is going to get it maybe a couple of extra steps. Pena thinking he might be able to get him.
They're lighting it up here at Chase Field.
A little distracting for a hitter, isn't it?
I would think. You see this in football stadiums at times at night. A little different animal there, but I'm not sure if I'm the home team I'd really want that going on. So keep it up. Junior ready to work the 2-2 pitch to Brandon Drury. That sails upstairs.
And now he'll be running. Very surprised he wasn't running on any count in this at bat. He can steal. 3-2, 2 outs. He's going to be running now.
I wonder if they're getting a little leery of that arm strength of Pena.
Yeah, there's that too.
The mystery over now. A full count with 2 men out of the 6th. Guerra has walked 4 hitters tonight, including back-to-back walks in the 3rd, but got out of trouble. Owings off the bag, and Drury fouls it away. Close one last night. This one with a different personality than last night, but still a tight one.
Every game the Brewers play, it seems to be very close, very tight as the game goes on, and it's kind of the way it's been.
Yeah, a lot said about the bullpen usage of this team, and you have the three busiest in the National League wearing Brewer uniforms, Jacob Barnes and Carlos Torres and Corey Knebel. But that's what happens when you're in tight games over and over again. Is there's Josh Hader start to get loose in that Milwaukee bullpen. Was getting ready last night just in case. Full count to Drury. Owings the runner at first. And look out, he was not being held on by Aguilar as Guerra throws one away, and Owings on to second.
That was interesting. Lack of communication right there. There's Aguilar, and Junior throws it anyway. Aguilar able to get it. Owings only able to get to second base. But now a base hit ties the game. Ordinarily, when you play behind the runner, you'll call time and say, I'm not holding him on anymore.
First error of the game. It's charged to Guerra. In the meantime, the full count continues to the hitter Brandon Drury, who has flied to left and is grounded to third. And that is hit in the air to left field and deep. Thames going back, and the Diamondbacks take the lead. Sixth of the year for Brandon Drury, a two-run shot, 3-2 Arizona.
Yep, split-fingered fastball that didn't get down enough, and as soon as he hit it, Drury knew it was out. And yet another home run at home for the Diamondbacks. That gives them a one-run lead.
Powerful team here in the home ballpark. Arizona, 54 of them now, 54 long balls here at Chase Field this year.
That leads the National League for home runs at home.
And the Brewers not far behind. They have 52. Here's Chris Iannetta. For the first time tonight, the Diamondbacks have the lead. Picked up a run in the first, and now two here in the sixth. Iannetta a walk and a strikeout here tonight. Big fly from Brandon Drury off Junior Guerra. All this coming with two outs. Goldschmidt and Lamb were retired, the most dangerous hitters. Goldschmidt a ground ball to short, Lamb a bouncer to first, but Chris Owings a single, and Drury a two-run shot.
Kind of reminds you of the Brewers inning where they scored 2 runs on the home run by Perez.
A little check swing, and that's going to find its way through and into right center field. First two of the night for Chris Iannetta.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Iannetta pretty good and lucky right there. And a check swing and a line drive into center.
Oh, excuse me single from the Diamondbacks catcher. So the Diamondbacks, who did a lot of damage at the expense of the Padres with 2 outs, do it to the Brewers.
Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, Betcher's Bar in Anago. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Betcher's Bar in Anago.
Good crowd there tonight, I'm sure. Saturday night. Enjoying the summer. They're hoping that Garrett can prevent any more damage here in the 6th. All this coming with 2 outs here for the D-backs. And that on at first for Ray Fuentes, who tripled and then scored in the 5th inning. Well, after the first pitch and pop it up. There's Hernan Perez. And the inning is over, but the Diamondbacks grab the lead for the first time tonight. 2-run bomb for Brandon Drury. 3-2 Arizona. Ball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. So nighttime in the desert. Probably a cool, comfortable 94, 95 degrees right now. 3-2 Arizona leading the Brewers. Brandon Drury with a 2-run homer to give the D-backs the lead for the first time. Roof is open, so it's comfortable enough. Right, young lady? Souvenir baseball in hand, enjoying a Saturday night at the ballpark. Big crowd here at Chase Field tonight. Hernan Perez leading off. Perez, Pena, and Brett Phillips.
It's a giveaway tonight. The kids' bat and ball set.
Nice.
Not sure if it's a plastic bat and ball or the real thing. Haven't seen any.
Yeah, I'm scanning the crowd right now. Maybe they get it as they leave.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
That would be wise.
Not a bad idea.
Right? Brother and sister beating each other with it.
Oh, we have found out through our extensive research department that is actually tomorrow.
Oh, is it tomorrow?
We'll have that, yes.
My mistake. I read the billboard incorrectly on my way to the ballpark today.
I think this is Beach Towel night, Rock. Get our promotions right. That Beach Towel night. All right.
Never mind.
Yeah. Well, no, it's tomorrow. Keep our eyes on there. That's the promotion tonight.
Because there's so many beaches here in Arizona.
Exactly.
How about pool towel night?
Yes.
Huh?
That would work. You get that nice cool ocean breeze here in Phoenix or poolside.
Yeah, that's refreshing.
There you go. Now those two guys look comfortable. got it going tonight. You get the occasional home run that lands in the pool here. It always gets people excited.
My buddy Mark Grace hit the first one ever.
Right.
Out in that pool.
Got to drive it a little bit to get it there, but it's been done. 3-2 pitch to Perez. Ground ball over to Jake Lamb, and there is out number 1.
Godley with yet another really good start against Milwaukee. Of course, he's racking up the good starts against everybody. This guy's numbers have been incredible, and he continues to get sent up and sent down. Got to wonder when that's all going to stop.
Yeah, there's still one of the times he was sent down, they were going on a long road trip, just concluded 11-game trip. They wanted an extra arm in the bullpen. But yeah, my goodness, this guy I think is well on his way to solidifying a spot in the roster here with the big club. 5 straight quality coming in, and he's in line for that certainly tonight.
Nice sinker, cutter, curveball, changeup. Pitch count in good shape as he works here in the 7th.
One and one the count to Manny Pena. And that's a one hopper to short. Owings, 2 outs.
Hey, the Brewers need your help to make it to Miami this July. Go to Brewers.com/vote and cast your ballot up to 5 times per day, 35 times total, to make sure your hometown 9 are well represented in Miami for the 88th annual All-Star Game. Not that far away, about a month.
You're right. Brewers will be in New York right before the All-Star break and home against the Phillies right after. Well, mentioned the night of work from Zach Godley has been very impressive. Andrew Chafin, the left-hander, is going to come in as a pitching change here in Arizona. Exit Godley, his team leading the Brewers 3-2 as the lefty Chafin will come on. Out of the 7th, Zach Godley, very effective, 6 2/3, giving up just a couple of hits and a couple of runs. There's his line. Just 80 pitches, but a change is made here as Torey Lovullo makes the move to his bullpen, and Andrew Chafin gets the call.
Of course, Torey Lovullo knows his team a lot better than we do, but that's a head scratcher right there. The way Godley's throwing the baseball, 80 pitches. He's already been able to retire Phillips a couple of times on strikes, and Craig Counsell's going to make a move with Keon Broxton with the left-hander on. Give me a read on this here.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I think maybe what you said at the beginning, he knows his team. You go with that, but wow, pretty comfortable pitch count. Keon Broxton settling in, and he's trying to get locked back in right now against Chafin. Broxton has been up and down the first 14 games, struggled and was hot for about a month. Comes in here 4 out of his last 48.
Better time than right now to break out of it.
Good news about Keon is that when he has gone into these droughts, he has snapped out of it, and loudly so. A terrific 4-week stretch for the Brewers, at 337 in that span. There's a bouncing ball to the right side, and Keon can run, but he slipped a bit coming out of the box, and Drury is able to make the play, and that'll do it for Milwaukee in the 7th. Josh Hader's been getting ready. Stretch time here at Chase Field. 3-2 Arizona. Milwaukee, bottom of the 7th inning. Junior Guerra was going to the mound, and then Craig Counsell making a change here, as we will see for the first time in the big leagues, the left-hander Josh Hader. See what he was doing with the Sky Sox.
Well, anxious to see him in a big league game. There's his numbers down in the minor leagues. All starts, all 12 appearances start, so this is his first workout of the bullpen, so this is going to be a different look for him. A 3-4 record, 537 earned run average. He had a start where he got pounded pretty good. Other than that, pretty good stuff. Good fastball. He throws hard. Slider, changeup, still works in progress. So I would imagine he's going to be amped up a little bit here tonight. That fastball, it could get cooking at about 95, 96. Yeah, when he's right. Tall, lanky left-hander, Josh Hader.
Well, you figure he is excited. There is Mr. Hader on the call coming up from the Sky Sox to the big club.
I was watching a hunting TV show on my laptop, and he came to the clubhouse and he was having a meeting. Didn't even notice that he had come in. Took off my headphones, and then he just gave me a hard time about not seeing that. And then he announced that I got called up, so it was very special.
Keep it kind of flat line about it, at least on the inside. There's part of the Hader family. Watch Josh come out of the bullpen. Here it comes. All right.
Yep, throws one pitch, he's in the book. The baseball encyclopedia. I think that's fired up.
Puts you into some rare air. I heard you and B.A. talking about that. As a B.A.'s perspective, his brother obviously in his big league time is as nervous as the player is. It could be worse for the family. It's I guess, but I would imagine your pulse rate was kind of rapid
Yeah, no
first
doubt.
time
I mean,
around,
yeah,
huh?
it's a big deal for the family, and they're just as excited for it because, you know, they gave up a lot of time, a lot of vacation to follow Josh around, and every big leaguer has a story like that. So it's a big deal for everybody in the Hader family.
We'll see Hader work against Gregor Blanco, pinch hitting. It's 9-1-2 in the order for the Diamondbacks. So this is a sizable spot here for Hader, trying to keep the Brewers within a run. D-backs took the lead in the 6th on a 2-run blast from Brandon Drury off Junior Guerra. Let's see what Blanco did last night. That one hit was a triple.
And 96 with that last fastball, and this is you know, why, you know, Craig Counsell wants to choose his spots to get Hader in the game. Last night, Brewers had the lead. He decided to stick with Oliver Drake.
There's Mom right there.
Cheering strikes.
The emotions. Wiping away a tear. Watching her son Josh with the 3-1, and that is ball 4. Buzzed him more than a little. Blanco on here to begin inning number 7 for Arizona. Try to imagine what is going through his mind right now. Anybody who has been in the big leagues knows. The rest of us just try to imagine what it's like. There's Daniel Descalso.
Remember your first Brewers game you did?
I do.
Kind of the same thing, I would imagine. Of course, you were what, 50 years old?
Yeah, thereabouts. Deer in the headlights, though. Oh, really?
Of course, how many years were you doing radio for the Badgers, right? 30?
Yeah, thereabouts, yeah.
No, not quite. I guess not quite the same.
But a little different. Yeah, a little bit different. Remember that whole weekend, a whole lot went on.
Yeah.
Big comeback wins, a fight.
That was in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, it was.
Was that 3 years ago?
Yeah,
4.
2014, yeah. And Hader's ready to record it out here. A fly ball hit into left field, and Eric Thames will put it away. 1 out. That's 1, Josh. The Hader family / cheering section. Trying to look cool. There you go. A thrill for them. This is it's a big inning here. 3-2 ball game. Leadoff walk to Blanco. A fly ball from Descalso, and now David Peralta steps in. Strikeout, a line out, and a fly ball to right.
You know, ideally, you'd like to get your 23-year-old pitching prospect an inning when you're maybe up by 6 or 7 runs, or maybe even down by that much. But you know, the way this Brewer team has been all year, we haven't had those situations too often. And Hader in a pressure-packed spot here in the 7th inning, a 1-run deficit.
There's one in there for strike 1. Hader, the 23-year-old out of Millersville, Maryland. Part of that trade with Brett Phillips, Ringo Santana, and Adrian Hauser. Gomez and Fires trade. Ball hit in the air, center field. That's Keon Broxton for out number 2.
Yeah, breaking ball at 76 miles an hour. It took a little bit off. Got in on the hands of Peralta. Now the work begins. Well, you know, Josh Hader's been perusing the box scores over the years and thinking about perhaps the opportunity to face a guy like this, Paul Goldschmidt. Here he is.
Might as well do it your debut, huh? Goldschmidt has walked, has grounded into a double play, and also grounded to Arcia.
thing you always have to remember when you're making your debut, if you're ever wondering if you actually belong in the big leagues, organization thinks you're ready. It's got to make you feel good, so sometimes that'll calm you down.
Very highly regarded prospect. Top 2 going into the season. Prospects: Brinson, #1, Hader, #2. And that one gets away from Pena, and moving on to second is Gregor Blanco.
This one handcuffs Manny Pena. Look at the movement on it. Didn't have time to really turn the glove over and catch it. Goes to the screen. Giving him a pass ball.
Yes, they did. Now a low pitch, intentional walk here to Goldschmidt. They'll go lefty, and that's where Hader has excelled there. Now it's AAA we're talking about, but he has handled left-handers very effectively. But this left-hander is a little different animal. No pun intended to the last name. He's just flat out good. Good cut from Jake Lamb. And single to left. He's also flying out and grounded to first. Lamb hitting a .140 against left-handed pitching. Swing and a miss.
And rides one up in his zone and gets Lamb underneath it. He throws hard.
0-2 the count. Sweeney with a look back at Gregor Blanco.
His success in the major league is going to be determined by those other 2 pitches. Slider, changeup. He's got a really good fastball.
As Lamb just saw. 2-strike pitch. He got him looking. Josh Hader, welcome to the big leagues. Oh, that's some good work. A walk, an intentional walk, 2 fly balls, and then a blow by to Jake Lamb as Josh Hader keeps his team within 1. We move to the 8th. To the 8th inning, Josh Hader's big league debut. He keeps the D-backs off the board. Hey, Brewers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Wisconsin and Brewers baseball with you wherever you go. Archie Bradley now on out of the bullpen for Arizona.
That bullpen's been pretty good for the Diamondbacks, and Archie Bradley's been really good, a 135 earned run average. He has been really good against right-handers. Right-handers only 1 for 17 against Bradley, and he's been very good in spots with runners in scoring position.
Rager Blanco, who pinch hit, stays in the game. He plays left field as Orlando Arcia will lead things off. Franklin has moved into the on-deck circle. Arcia with a single to center, his first at-bat tonight. He struck out in the 5th. Brewers with just 2 hits in this game. The Arcia single and the 2-run homer from Hernan Perez. Since then, the only base runner the Brewers could get was a Santana walk in the 6th. Big fastball there takes care of Arcia for out number 1.
And 97 miles an hour from Bradley. Tough on right-handers. Here it is, up in the zone, swings right through it.
Archie Bradley, a very talented, not just baseball player, but football player in high school. Matter of fact, he had a chance to get a scholarship at Oklahoma to be a quarterback for Bob Stoops, now the former head coach at Oklahoma. Bradley chose baseball, first-round pick back in 2011. Franklin delivered with a pinch hit last night. He will ground to Drury tonight. 2 up, 2 down. Good pitching both sides here tonight.
Guys throwing strikes. Hitters being aggressive early in the count.
There is Eric Sogard. For his first hit in the series. Fly balls to right and center, and a ground ball to Goldschmidt in the 6th. And that is slapped over to Goldschmidt. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Archie Bradley. Move to the bottom of the 8th. Still 3-2 Arizona. Josh Hader taking care of things in that 7th inning. A walk to lead things off to Gregor Blanco. A couple of fly balls, an intentional walk to Goldschmidt, and then he gets Jake Lamb on a called 3rd strike. Not a bad way to start your major league career.
No, got to feel good for him. Started out a little shaky, lead off walk, but able to get things together. Good for him.
Turns things over to Jared Hughes, who gets a rude greeting. Chris Owings into the gap. Left center, Broxton retrieves, but it's a double for Owings to begin the bottom of the 8th inning.
And fastball up right down the middle of the plate. So Owings 2 for his last 2. Extended that 6th inning. And where Drury hit the homer. 2 outs, nobody on. This time leadoff double. And Jerry's been good his last 3 appearances. .418 the earned run average for Hughes, and making appearance number 26.
And here is Drury. He takes a look at a strike. The Brewers can keep it close. They'll see Fernando Rodney in the 9th inning. Brewery's last at bat, the difference in the game. A 2-run shot. There's a bouncer back to the mound. And the play over at first is moving to 3rd is Owings. He was thinking he might have had to go upstairs for that, but it was a slow hit chopper.
Be a high chopper to get over his head.
Started to elevate. No, it's all right. I got it.
Vertical jump, pretty good, you think?
I think what it needs to be. Big frame to begin with. Owings moves to 3rd with 1 out. Hughes now will face Chris Iannetta. Field in and shifted against the Arizona catcher.
Man, check swing, base hit to center his last time up.
He's also walked, and he struck out looking in the 5th. Leadoff double from Owings, advancing in a comebacker. That's where Hughes faces now, a runner at 3rd. Cut and a miss there.
Fastball had a lot of movement on it. Looked like a cutter. 94 miles an hour. Check it out. A lot of movement going away from Iannetta.
A ball, 2 strikes. Just got a piece. Iannetta has power. .104 plate appearances, but he has 8 home runs. Seven RBI game on Thursday, but a strikeout here, and that is much needed from Jared Hughes. 2 men out with Owings still the runner at 3rd.
Yep, got him on the slider. Good pitch. Every pitch before that last one was a fastball. Gets him on the breaking pitch. The slider, 86 miles an hour.
Now Ray Fuentes has tripled in 3 appearances tonight. Also a pop-up to short and a pop-up to second. Hughes trying to leave Owings stranded at third base. Give the Brewers a shot at it in the 9th.
They're going to pick him off third. But Fuentes fouled it off.
We got Goldschmidt early in the game in the first inning, as a matter of fact, drifting off the bag at second. The ball, a strike to Fuentes. Foul tip into the mid of Pena. 95 on the offering from Hughes.
Awfully difficult when Hughes is on his game to elevate him. He's only allowed the 1 home run. That sinker has been good for the most part this year.
Here comes the 1-2. Hughes missing as Fuentes won't bite. Jared ready with a 2-2 pitch. Fastball inside. Brewers will have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up in the 9th inning. Payoff pitch coming. Got him. Jared Hughes with back-to-back strikeouts. Owings left stranded at third. It'll be Santana, Thames, and Aguilar in the 9th with the Brewers down by 1. Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let the games begin. 3-2 Diamondbacks. We head to the 9th inning here in Phoenix. Time now for our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. The big league debut of Josh Hader. Went on in the 7th inning. Couple of walks, but he got a couple of fly balls. There's the first one to Eric Thames. And the second to Keon Broxton.
Yeah, got it out on a slider. That's the important thing. And then he locks out Jake Lamb on a fastball. Family happy. A scoreless inning for Hader in his major league debut.
He has helped give his team a chance. And now Fernando Rodney is on. A save opportunity.
All-star last year and first year with Arizona. 15 for 18 in save opportunities. He's been on a roll as of late. Rodney hasn't allowed an earned run in 12 consecutive appearances.
Will face Domingo Santana to begin the 9th inning.
Yeah, terrific changeup does Fernando Rodney.
40-year-old Fernando Rodney. In addition to his All-Star year last year, a couple of other appearances, 2012 with the Rays and 2 years later with the Mariners. Santana still trying to extend that hitting streak. 9 games and holding. 1-1 pitch. Domingo walked his last trip to the plate. His line to center and his fly to right. Santana, Eric Thames, Jesus Aguilar. And some thumpers coming up to the plate here in the 9th inning. There's that change, 2-2.
Yeah, 83. Takes about 10 miles an hour off that changeup. You know, fastball 94. Changeup 84.
Two. Brewers have managed but 2 hits in this game. The Diamondbacks only 6. The difference at the moment, a Brandon Drury 2-run homer. Full count now to Santana leading off the 9th. There's the 3-2 pitch.
Well, you know a pitcher has a lot of confidence in that changeup when he throws it on a 3-2 count. In this situation, 1-run lead.
Mention that roll that he was on or is on right now. He had a very rough month of April. Opponents hit .364 against him. That is ball 4, and Santana is on to start the 9th inning.
Yeah, back-to-back walks for Domingo. So there's your tying run.
Well, here you go. These matchups that make this game so great. The veteran in Rodney against the power hitter in Eric Thames. For 3 tonight. A ground ball to short, a ground ball to first, and a fly to left. And they give him the corner there. The 0-1.
Now, if you're a hitter up there, you got to be sitting fastball and then just try to react to changeup, because if you look for that changeup and get a fastball, you're really going to, be behind it. You're not going to be able to catch up to it. That fastball's been as high as 97 in this inning. That last one at 95.
Still has it, huh? Rear back and let it fly.
Yes, sir.
Walks have been an issue throughout the career of Rodney. A leadoff walk to Santana in the 9th, and strike 3 called to Thames. And he's not happy with Trip Gibson. There's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, you don't see Thames react that way very often. Now, Iannetta didn't help the home plate umpire. It looked a little bit better than Iannetta made it look.
Trip Gibson calling the balls and strikes tonight. 1 out, 1 on for Jesus Aguilar. into this game was hitting at a clip of 329 over his last 25 games. 0 for 2 tonight, hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. That was followed by a home run from Hernan Perez. Santana's going. Pitch is a strike. Throw down is in time to get Santana.
Yeah, risky move, but hey, you don't blame the Brewers for trying to take that extra base. Not a bad throw, but it looks like they got him. Throw a little bit high, but a good tag. And Drury able to get him on the back.
And no challenge. 1-1 the count. Base is now empty for Jesus Aguilar. Three-time All-Star Fernando Rodney behind in the count. 3-1 to Aguilar.
Man, make it be in a spot where you're looking right down the middle with a fastball. If it's not, take it. See if you can't launch one out of here on a 3-1 pitch.
Here it comes. Change up. And the count is full.
Man, that's the equalizer right there. I mean, just got to tip your hat. A 3-1 changeup.
A veteran pitch right there. Now the payoff. Aguilar with 5 home runs on the year. Trying to extend this game and give Hernan Perez a shot. The 3-2. Liner. Game over. Diamondbacks win it. A save for Rodney. And the rubber match coming up tomorrow afternoon. Well, some really good pitching tonight. Junior Guerra, Zach Godley. Good work out of the bullpen, but a Brandon Drury 2-run homer proves to be the difference. That blast coming in the 6th as the D-backs even the series. And the all-time series once again even, 69 wins apiece. Arizona wins it tonight 3-2. Let's send it to Jeff Grayson in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studio.